Problem 12. The decimal representation of 1 over 20 to the 20th power consists of a string of zeros after the decimal point followed by a 9 and then several more digits. How many zeros are in the initial string of zeros after the first decimal point? Or there's only one decimal point, so I don't know why I said that. But anyway, let's continue with the question. What this basically is saying is, after 0.000 all the way onto 0, and there's going to be a 9 and whatever, how many zeros are right here? Well, when you have a problem that you do not know, like this one, I'm doing it the first time right now, so I actually don't know how to solve it, but I do know that I need to apply it to knowledge that I already know. So how do I apply it to knowledge that I already know? Well, consider 1 over 10. That's the first example I think of, because when I think of how many more zeros, I think of 1 over 10, because 1 over 10 to the n power always gives a number that's 0.000 whatever until 1. So I always apply it to knowledge I know. So let's continue with 1 over 10. That's 0.1. What about 1 over 10 squared? That's 0.01. What about 1 over 10 cubed? Well, that is 0.001. So I notice there's 0 zeros after the first decimal point, then there's 1 zero, then there's 2 zeros. But wait, this is 10 to the first power. That's 1 less than a power. 1 is 1 less than 2. 2 is 1 less than 3. So perhaps 1 over 10 to the n will give a number that's 0.000 all the way until 1 with n minus 1 zeros. And that turns out with the pattern to hold true. So this just goes to show, apply knowledge you know. I'll always do that. So I applied this knowledge. So now that I know this foundation, I want to apply this number in terms of 1 over 10 to the n. But how do I do that? Well, first of all, this becomes 2 times 10 to the 20th power, which is the same thing as what? Or 2 to the 20th times 10 to the 20th, which is 1 over 2 to the 20th times 1 over 10 to the 20th. Now, obviously, we know the rule for this one. Now let's consider the next case, which is 1 over 2 to the 20th. Again, apply to knowledge you already know. So what is 2 to the 20th equal to? Well, I don't know, but I do know what 2 to the 10th is equal to. That's 1024. 2 to the 10th power is very, you should know it. Pi, you should know it. E, you should know it. Root 2, you should know it. Root 3, you should know it. These special values, you should always know. Also, remember this perfect squares. Also memorize those, because memorizing these special terms will come in very handy for any exam that you go into. So with this out the way, I just know 2 to the 10 is 1024. So this is the same thing as 1024 squared, right? Because 2 to the 20 is 2 to the 10 squared. So then this is multiplied by 1 over 10 to the 20 to get our answer. Now what is 1 over 1024 squared? Well, 1024 squared is not too bad to do, so let's just do it. So that's 904840200001024. Now we just be careful with the adding 6758410. So very quickly I realize this is 1048,576 times 1 over 10 to the 20. Now think about 1 divided by 1048785 for a minute. I have to put a 0 here, then I put a 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here, 0 here. But how many zeros? Well, this is a 7-digit number, so I need an 8-digit number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Right. So I put a 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That matches 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes. So now that we have all of this should be right here. Oh, this should be a 0 right here. I can finally put some number n such that it will go into this term. So how many zeros do I have here? Well, I can count it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 zeros, which is perfect for me, because what is 10 to the 20 going to do? 10 to the 20 is going to shift this decimal point to the left by 20 spaces. But after shifting by left to 20 spaces, it actually shifted by 19 spaces, or no, it shifted to the left by 20 spaces, that's correct. But it's ultimately going to only produce 19 extra zeros in the front of this number, as we saw here, right, with 1 over 10 to the 3, right? This is 1, but then we move it 1, 2, 3. We move it 3 decimal to the place. Oh, sorry, sorry. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, right? So boom, we put it right here. So that means we only produced 2 zeros when we have 10 to the 3, which is negative 3. So that means that if I had 1 over 10 to the 20, then it's going to follow this exact same pattern where 1 to the 10 to the 3 produces 2 leading zeros, and this will produce 19 leading zeros. So 19 leading zeros plus 7 gives 26. So your final answer would be answer choice D. That just goes to show, and that should be right, I believe. And that just goes to show the power of always applying what you know to any question that you don't know.